All right. Hello. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the Komodo Impact platform. So this is our portfolio overview page. This is the page that we imagine our users will begin with. This page gives an overview of the portfolio that the user is looking at. In this case, we have Wells Fargo's municipal bond fund loaded, as well as the two relevant benchmark that fund uses as comparison. In the first box here, we show the overall portfolio score. So this is a weighted average score based on all of the underlying bonds in the portfolio compared to the benchmarks, as well as how those scores have changed in the last 12 months. To the right, we have a trend chart that shows how this fund has done in comparison to the benchmarks over the last 4 years. From here, the users can drill down into their overall ESG score across different dimensions. These two charts have identical information, but they show the ESG score of this portfolio based on the individual pillars. So we broke out ESG, environmental, social governance, into 5 pillars: environmental, community, health, wealth, and governance. So basically broke the S into 3 pillars. And this was based on client feedback to give a little more granular view of the portfolio. So you can see how this fund does on each of the pillars as compared to the benchmarks. Again, we can also from here drill down across different dimensions. We have a chart that shows the portfolio by sector, by rating, and then we also have charts that show the top movers in terms of overall score and the top and bottom contributors in terms of overall weighted score for the portfolio. From here, the user can then go into their portfolio and see all of the CUSIPs that they own. This can be sorted by any of these attributes, such as sector, or the user can search for a specific bond that they are looking for. In this case, we're going to use Miami-Dade as an example. And here is our CUSIP level ESG overview page. This page is meant to give the analyst a good overview of the ESG story for the bond. So one of the things that we've heard from our clients is that they want the ability to quickly answer questions from their clients, the retail investors, about a specific bond, and to be able to tell an ESG story about why the bond is or is not performing well from an ESG standpoint. So you can see here we have the ESG overall ESG impact score, as well as where this bond ranks in the portfolio. We highlight the strengths and weaknesses of this bond. These are great talking points for our users when they're conversations with their clients. And we also have the ESG pillar scorecard, which shows how each pillar has performed, as well as how much of a weight that pillar has towards the overall score. We then have our use of proceeds analysis box, which lets the users input their own details into this box. And this is a good workflow management tool for them and a way to kind of institutionalize the knowledge around this information. We have additional pages. We have the sector model page, which shows which ESG model we're using to calculate the score for this bond. All of our models are sector-based and customizable by our users. And we also have data pages for each of the pillars that show the specific data points that we used to calculate the score, how this bond stacked up on that metric, and how that metric rates to a national average.